We have reached a point where architecture may be more than just a structure. It can be a work of art in and of itself. Something to think about. Here are the 10 futuristic design concepts that can be employed in architecture. Number 10. Fluid architecture. One cannot begin writing about futuristic design concepts without recalling Zaha Hadid's faultless designs or Frank Gehry's parametric structures. We have reached a point where architecture may be more than just a structure. It can be a work of art in and of itself. Something to think about. The loose and whimsical style of fluid architecture takes precedence over the function of the building. In contrast to modern building, aesthetics are crucial. Fluid architecture advances building processes and formal variety by leaps and bounds. Yet this is only the beginning. Number 9. Vertical gardens. When open spaces shrink due to the increased usage of concrete, steel, and glass, gardens must also rise vertically. This technique offers a long-term solution to the city's rising needs. A vertical garden can be anything from a plant mat to a green facade to urban farming. Water reclamation and solar energy collecting are both beneficial byproducts of the same. In addition, each homeowner can enjoy a small piece of outdoor open space for themselves. Number 8. Subterranean architecture. Subterranean architecture is not a new concept. Throughout the dawn of time, humans have lived in caves and tunnels. With cities becoming increasingly congested, building basements can be used for more than just parking. Subterranean structures can provide significantly better spatial isolation than normal superstructures. The rock-cut constructions, which can be transformed into modern structures, exude serenity and tranquility. Number 7. Underwater architecture. Water levels continue to rise as global warming continues. We will undoubtedly lose our coastlines in the coming years. Unless there is a significant change in the climate, we will have to adjust to the conditions that will be presented to us in due time. Underwater architecture is a relatively recent concept that has received some attention. Underwater sculpture parks and underwater habitats have been proposed by firms such as OMA and designers such as Yves Baer, respectively. Nevertheless, before diving in, we must conduct extensive research to ensure that we cause the least amount of disruption to the underwater ecology. Number 6. On-water architecture. With increasing levels of water and people, we may have to shift to the aqua instead of the land. As in underwater architecture, aquatic ecosystems have always piqued the interest of scholars, and much research has been undertaken in this area. Even if there is still much work to be done, it is a start. Floating cities are an old concept in nations like Indonesia, where the landmass is largely surrounded by water. Björk Ingels, an architect, identified this issue and created the Urban Rigger, a 100% sustainable modular student housing project, as a prototype for Archipelago. Number 5. Temporary architecture. The archipelago was a completely self-sustaining buoyant construction that may accommodate up to 300 people. Clusters of this construction can be combined to form a full city, which can still house more people in the same area as comparable cities on land. Number 4. Pod living. We've all heard about Japan's famed pod hotels. Pod living is essentially a glorified hostel where people can rent a bed in a shade room and have access to additional community spaces, as well as a kitchen and restrooms. With rising real estate prices, a lack of community living, and congestion in places where young people dwell, pod living will be the next big thing, if it isn't already. Number 3. Space architecture. With the colonization of Mars expected within the next few decades, space architecture is just around the corner. But this is the one that will necessitate extensive research. Little concerns, such as the difficulty to repair many items in space, will be a challenge to architects and designers when dealing with bad situations. The future of space travel is unknown at the moment, although living in space for 7 to 8 months, as well as space journeys, have already begun. Number 2. Adaptive reuse. Adaptive reuse has been around for a while. Adaptive reuse is architecture that leverages existing constructed infrastructure and gives it a new meaning. Whether it is the High Line in New York or the little ruined pubs in Budapest, this is a very sustainable design approach. There is no waste, and the new improvements have a lower carbon footprint when former geeks are converted into art museums, cafes, office spaces, lofts, shopping complexes, and studios. This is a really helpful technique. Number 1. Trash architecture. Every year, humans generate approximately 2.01 billion tons of garbage. We have no idea what to do with it. One solution is to use the waste as building material. Under this umbrella, there have been studies conducted all around the world. Architect Chris Colleras has been investigating and designing ways to employ oil tanker containers as floating cities, which are bound to become obsolete as we transition from oil to renewable resources.